everybody, and welcome to World of Matchups, week number 6 in the National Football League. My name is Dexter Reed, and we are coming to you live and direct from the Grab It Television Studios in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. I am here to break down every week's matchups from here moving forward till Super Bowl Sunday. Super producer Spencer the Wiz to my right. Spencer, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody.
All right, folks, we're going to start right now with breaking news. On my drive over to the studio this morning, I heard that Zach Ertz, tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, has been traded to the Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be a good fit for both teams. Zach Ertz, longtime Eagle, now taking his production out west to Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury's offense. It sounds like a match made in heaven. Boy, let me tell you something. The Arizona Cardinals, this is a team that's going all in. And now when Dallas Goedert comes off the COVID list, the tight end room is all his in Philadelphia. To me, it sounds like a win-win, especially for the Cardinals, who only really had to give up a backup cornerback and a 6th-round pick. Now, let's talk about what happened last night in the National Football League. Thursday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers invaded Lincoln Financial Field to play the Philadelphia Eagles in a highly contested game for a while, but the bottom line is that Tom Brady is going to be Tom Brady, and Antonio Brown has seemingly found the fountain of youth. 28-22, World of Matchups did take the Eagles plus a 7.5, and for the 4th straight week, we hit. We are on fire right now. Leonard Fournette was a thing last night. He is ascending. Tampa Bay can seemingly do no wrong, all while losing Richard Sherman last night. He is 33. They can be thrown on, but the bottom line is as long as Tom Brady is on that team and keeping a clean jersey, they're going to find their way back to the Super Bowl in a very, very weak National Football Conference. Jalen Hurts, I thought he'd have a better game. He really didn't do that much. Sirianni's a young coach. They need to learn to protect that quarterback a lot better by running the ball, but they just didn't have the personnel to keep up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. And when it mattered, it showed. Tom Brady, boy, he's going to be around after. Tom Brady probably lived when dinosaurs roamed the earth. It's unbelievable. Next, let's go into talking about this week's hot news. Jon Gruden resigns as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This kind of came out of nowhere. I was at work when this news first broke. I didn't think that this would be something that would have transpired. There's a lot of different moving parts here. Washington football team is being investigated. During the investigation, all of a sudden, the investigation sways kind of Jon Gruden's way over some some tasteless things that had been said in a lot of the emails that he had sent back and forth with other members of the NFL over the last couple of years. All of a sudden, the feds leak it, and he is resigning. Now, this is going to be problematic for the Las Vegas Raiders. One, they have to find a coach. And I think that while Jon Gruden may not be everyone's favorite person right now, I think he was doing a good job for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now he's gone. They're going to have to focus on probably bringing in a guy like Eric Bieniemy, who has been readily available. I don't know if he would want to jump from the Chiefs to the Raiders, but they're in big trouble. And how this plays out for Jon Gruden, I don't know. But from what I've heard, he has left Las Vegas, selling his house. He's pretty much public enemy number one. To me, I believe he deserved to be fired or resigned after some of the things that I've slowly seen come out over the week. Every day, it's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more. But the truth of the matter is, if they're investigating him, they need to investigate all these owners. How about we investigate Jerry Jones's emails? How about we investigate what Dan Snyder has said in some of these emails? I kind of feel like while he should be gone, he kind of gotten a raw deal. And everyone now is just piling on. You type in Jon Gruden on YouTube, and there's just a million videos of everybody just slamming the guy, and rightfully so. You know, misogynistic, homophobia, transphobia. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But nobody can convince me that somewhere down the line there was somebody in the back rooms of the National Football League that did not want this guy gone. All of a sudden, his stuff is coming to the forefront. And everybody's forgetting about the real investigation that was supposed to be taking place, which was for the Washington football team. Jon Gruden, it sucks for you. Let this be a lesson to all of you out there. What you say yesterday could come back and haunt you today. I'm not so sure that people couldn't dig up stuff that I said 10 years ago that could land me behind bars, quite honestly. But watch your mouth. Watch what you say. Watch who you say it to. Not everybody's your friend. And the company that you work for today might be looking to get rid of you tomorrow. Of all the people that had a lot to say, Derek Carr seemed to me to be the most emotional. Spencer, can you run this clip that we pulled up of Derek Carr?
For me, my message today was we have a job to do. So it's Wednesday. If we're still in our feelings, it's too late. We got to move on.
It sounded like the team, you spoke after the game Sunday, yes. Move forward with Jon Gruden,
yes.
Coach. How did that change after the rest of those emails came out Monday?
It was a lot, to handle. I'll say it that way. Y'all know me, man. I don't condone that kind of talk. I don't talk that way. My kids sure as heck will never talk that way, And, it's hard because I love the man so much. You know what I mean? I have family members that have done things. I've done things that I'm glad that I'm still loved, And I think more than anything, Coach needs people to help him, to love him, in whatever areas, that we can. But at the same time, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Yeah, and I love Derek Carr, and I feel like I shouldn't because I'm a Chief fan. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's the part that just gets you all in the feels. And there's a lot of people that might think that, maybe he needed to sit down with the, LGBT community. Maybe he needed to, make a couple of open apologies, but he flat out resigned. And the bottom line is that Gruden resigned because he knew eventually the heat would be too much and he'd be eventually released. So part of me feels bad for him. The bigger part of me does not. Watch what you have to say out there because this may be a nail in the coffin for the Raiders season. You lose your head coach, everything could go south. What do you think, Spence?
Well, here's the thing. I think the Raiders might actually be able to convert a 3rd and 1 now, which is really exciting. The worst 3rd and 1 team I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they might be 0 and 5 on 4th downs, but the whole thing obviously is just a complete mess. And I'm actually kind of excited. I hope Mike Mayock goes with him. You just can't have that kind of thing a part of your franchise. And you were talking about Snyder. Look, the same law firm looked at Gruden's emails and his, and they found 0 emails from Zack Snyder, as if he hasn't sent one. So we just found out the difference between having $100 million and having billions of dollars. Clearly, it's very different.
Yeah, it is very different because we all know that Daniel Snyder is not a quality human being, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But if the Raiders could be galvanized, by this us and against them mentality that they have now, it might turn into something positive, but it truly is a sad day for the silver and black because, you guys love Chucky, and now where is he now? He can't go back to the booth, can't go back to football. He's done, sadly. Next, let's talk about the game breakdowns for this week. 11-5 last week, back to double digits. Man, World of Matchups is kind of doing their thing quietly. You guys be careful out there. 48-32 on the season. This week, it's time for the bye weeks, all right? Atlanta, New Orleans, the Jets, and San Francisco all watching from home this week, nursing their injuries. First game, Kansas City versus Washington, the Washington football team. Boy, the Chiefs are awful. Man, we were so wrong last week on our power panel. That defense cannot stop anybody. It was a disgrace to watch the Bills just march up and down Arrowhead Field, smacking the Chiefs around. They're in big trouble at 2-3. Before Patrick Mahomes could basically save the Chiefs by just scoring so much that you really hide the defense, he can't do that anymore. They're turning the ball over. I mean, it's like a circus out there for Kansas City. But at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. I'm still going to rep my colors, and I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to tell you that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this week. Mahomes is going to do his thing versus Washington. That secondary is overrated. They are actually flat out bad. Kelsey, he's going to get in this game, and he's going to make huge strides. If Hill and that knee can hold up, watch them stretch the field. This is going to be an all-out air raid attack because you just can't run on Chase Young in that front four of Washington. But that defense is suspect. Gibson and McLaurin will have a field day against the Kansas City defense who can't stop anybody. It should be a high-scoring affair, but the bottom line is I like the Chiefs to get right here. Look, folks, don't write off the Chiefs yet. I know they're 2-3, but they've lost to 4-1 teams. All the teams that have beat them are 4-1. And it's pretty much the same personnel that they went to the Super Bowl with. They got a lot of injuries. They're shooting their own selves in the foot. They got a hard schedule. But if they can just get a couple wins in a row, they're still the Chiefs. You have to be careful about putting dirt on their grave so soon. And a lot of you Chief fans out there wanting to jump ship. I mean, I know Daniel Sorensen is bad. I know Spagnuolo is doing a terrible job right now. But you have to be a fan. Don't forget what 2012 was like. Be a real fan. This team brought you a Super Bowl. Don't be so quick to throw dirt on their grave. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking them with confidence this week. Mahomes cannot stand for what's going on right now, and you're going to see it on Sunday. Next, Dolphins at the Jags. Two really bad teams. I'm not a big fan of either of these teams. We know the whole Urban Meyer black cloud. Is anybody happier about Jon Gruden right now than Urban Meyer? All the attention's been taken off Urban Meyer. You couldn't. The NFL is like a soap opera. It's hilarious. Trevor Lawrence is ascending. He's going to do his thing. The Miami defense is much, much, much improved, even though they hadn't been playing so good recently. They're getting a Jacksonville Jaguars team that is really not very good. I heard on my way over here today that if Tua practices today, he's going to be back. He's going to start. I'm taking Miami here. The Jags are a mess. I mean, the Jags are the type of team right now that should be trying not to win. They got James Robinson. They've got Trevor Lawrence. They really don't have much else. I think Miami ascends here. I think they take them out in a 7-point win. Take the Miami Dolphins and roll. Next, Bengals at the Lions. I like the Bengals. Spence, I know you like the Bengals. I just love what they're doing with Joe Burrow this year. Boy, Jamar Chase, we were all wrong about him. Remember preseason when he was just dropping balls all over this place, Spencer?
I was never on that train. This kid's a stud, and I knew it.
He is an absolute monster. He is the next great receiver in the National Football League. Mixon, if he could just get his act together, Higgins, I mean, they have a good team, and they're making stops this year. You know, it's really, really hard to even look at a guy like Tyler Boyd, who could be a number one on another team and not love what they're doing. The Lions do play hard. I like their coach. You know, the guy was almost in tears last week. Guys, I love this team. You know, they just play so hard for me.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough. You know, you don't want that for them.
I get that, but you need to get a win. Wins are what matter in the NFL, not tears. So, Goff to Hawkinson's got to be a thing, and I don't think it will be. They really need to get DeAndre Swift. I don't know how many more times I have to say, get DeAndre Swift involved. I really don't, but they really need to do this. But I don't think it will be enough. Take the Bengals and roll. Boy, quietly, the Bengals are on the way to the playoffs, Spencer. I know they lost a tough game that I flipped on last week. I was so mad when Green Bay won that game, by the way.
What a bizarre end to that game. I mean, it could have quite literally gone any way.
I was so mad when they lost that game because I'm on the Bengals train right now, kind of like you. You've talked me into it. My wife is a huge Bengals fan. So the Chiefs are letting me down. I'm like, okay, I kind of like Joe Burrow. You know, me and Joe Burrow, we're double dating right now with Justin Herbert. I mean, it's all working right now. Take the Bengals, watch them roll. Next, Vikings at the Panthers. Is this the week that CMC gets back? I'm hearing he's practicing. I'm hearing he's not. Game time decision. To me, it sounds like he's on the other end of being doubtful. What a fall from grace. This guy's such a stud, but now, second year in a row, constantly banged up. DJ Moore, you know what I love about him. We featured him last week on the player to watch. Look out for Cook if he plays. Look out for Cook if he doesn't, because Madison will step right in and do a good job. Kirk Cousins will be Kirk Cousins. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, but the Panthers are home for the second straight week, and after losing an egregious game to the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they get right here. I can't trust the Vikings away from their building. I took them a bunch this season at home, and they screwed me. So I'm going to go against them, take Carolina, and watch them roll. Next, Texans at the Colts. It's time to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, Spencer.
Well, I knew you hated the Colts. I mean, that was your thing.
No. I hate Wentz.
He's all right, though. He's all right.
Don't get into it. He's a bum. But They've been playing. But I mean, anyone can throw a 2-yard behind the line of scrimmage pass and watch Jonathan Taylor take it 70 yards. But again, he did throw for 400 yards that game. I got to give a guy his flowers. To me, he's just as stiff. And what better matchup could they get after losing a horrible game on Monday night? Here comes the Texans. They're going to steamroll this team. This is the time for Jonathan Taylor to ascend. They're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. Indy's defense is 5 million times better than the Texans' defense. Take the Colts to roll. Watch Michael Pittman as a player to watch in this game. This guy's got good hands. All of a sudden, if Wentz does start to wake up, now we have to start looking at the Colts as a team to watch. This will be my first time taking them this year. Watch them screw me, Spencer. Watch the Texans find a way to win. But I still like Jonathan Taylor as the X factor in this game. In the air, on the ground, the guy's an absolute stud. At 22 years old, he is going to be their version of the next Edgerrin James for the Indianapolis Colts. Take him and watch him roll. Next, the Rams at the Giants. Boy, the Giants, they're bad, and they're injured. Daniel Jones is coming off a concussion. He was stumbling around like a 90-year-old man the other day. Everyone on this team is hurt. Saquon goes down again. His ankle looked like the size. It had a golf ball attached to it. They just can't catch a break, and they were already bad to begin with. And then here comes Matt Stafford and Cooper freaking Kupp with Aaron Donald 3,000 miles away. They're going to invade MetLife Stadium, and they're going to destroy this team. There's just nothing else. There's just nothing else to say. Devontae Booker, meet Aaron Donald. That front four is nasty. You know how I feel about the Rams. I think they could go to the Super Bowl if everything breaks right. They're the one team I think could potentially maybe take out Tampa because they already blasted them once, and I think they could potentially do it again if they get home field throughout. Kupp, Woods, Higbee, they're just going to be too much for the Giants. That defense is not going to be able to stop anybody. Nobody on that offense can catch anything. Those guys can't catch a cold. They really basically need Daniel Jones to play and be the white Cam Newton. I'm taking the Rams, and I'm feeling good about it. Next, this is my game of the week. Chargers at the Ravens. Boy, this is going to be a good game. I've been hard on Lamar Jackson, rightfully so, but I've been hard on him. And let me tell you something. This guy really wants this contract. Did you see him at the last 5 minutes of that game on Monday night, Spencer?
My goodness. He's ascending for sure. He's still, sometimes he makes those errant passes, but he always makes up with it on the next play by doing some 50-yarder bomb or a run.
There is no player in the NFL that has his skill set. No player. He runs so effortlessly. He looks like a gazelle. And now he's putting the ball in the air. I got him as my fantasy quarterback. I rolled the dice on him. I really didn't want to take him, but he was there. And I won last week because of him. And I was begging for Mark Andrews to get in the end zone, and he was in the end zone all night. If we start getting this, even with this MASH unit Ravens team, they're going to make the playoffs. We already know he's going to get paid, and they could make some noise. I've been poo-pooing on the Ravens, so obviously I got to show them some love and give them their flowers. That is a huge come-from-behind win. But let's pump the brakes because here comes my boyfriend Justin Herbert into town with the San Diego Superchargers, and they are just as hot right now. This is going to be like not so much a David versus Goliath, but this is going to be a mano, back and forth, quarterback versus quarterback type of game. And I like the Chargers here. I think anytime you have a huge win like that on Monday night to turn around and come back, you might lay an egg at home. Justin Herbert is ascending. Guys, Justin Herbert could be MVP. Mike Williams is kind of banged up, but he might be out there. No one runs routes like Keenan Allen. And this year, you're actually seeing Austin Eckler run between the tackles. It's not everything to the sidelines. He's kind of manned up, and he's going right into the teeth of the defense. Offensive line is good. Defense is good. Take the Chargers with a field goal at the end of the game to win it. Next, Packers at the Bears. The Bears. I got to show my Bears fans some love. I just been so hard on them. I've been beating them up. I've been making fun of them. They won 2 in a row, and they beat the Raiders, which was a huge win for them. Justin Fields is doing his thing. I think the problem I have with the Bears is that I don't like Matt Nagy. It's kind of like the Colts. I don't like Carson Wentz. I don't hate the team. I just don't like that guy. And all of a sudden, they got 2 wins under their belt, and they're home. Khalil Mack attack starting to get cold, but here comes the Packers. This is a tricky game. I bet against the Packers last week after wanting to take them. I'm not going to do it again. I just don't think that the Bears will be able to generate enough offense to stop the likes of a Davante Adams. I woke up from a nap. It was the first quarter. Davante Adams had 10 catches for like 185 yards. I mean, there's no other player, maybe Tyreek Hill, that can generate this kind of offense so quickly. Aaron Jones is no slouch. This is a division game. I just don't see where they're going to get this offense from. Now, Justin Fields is home. Defense is good. It's going to be closer than a lot of people think, but I'm going to take the Packers. A couple weeks ago, I said when the Packers got that win, that it could be the type of win that just all of a sudden you see them run off 6, 7, 8 in a row, and before you know it, the season's over, and they're like 12-5, 13-4. This is kind of where I think they're at right now, albeit with a Swiss cheese defense. It's who they are. There's no better big three in the National Football League besides Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, and Aaron Jones. And I will never back off that. Dallas, you could come for me if you want. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Take the Packers and go to Sizzler. All right. We're going to take a little break here. And we're going to talk about our newest sponsor. Welcome to World of Matchups, Heroes Heating and Air of Medford, Oregon. Folks, Heroes Heating and Air is a family-owned and locally operated business in the Rogue Valley. They provide real hero discounts for all first responders and veterans. Heroes Heating and Air is Southern Oregon's only Rheem Pro partner, and they sell quality home comfort. These are friends of mine. These are good people, and they are doing a great business in the Valley. Call them at 541-821-1615 for all your service needs, or check them out online at heroesheatingandair.com. Late games. Cardinals at Browns. Cardinals are 5-0, Spencer. I mean, we really have. Spencer, where do you put the Cardinals on your rankings right now? This is going to be interesting.
Number 3 still. I got to put the Rams and Bucks over them like I did last week. I got to see it first. I got to see a playoff victory first before I can put them above Tom Brady and whatever, the whole situation the Rams have, which is just monstrous.
Okay, so we're a little bit different. I have them number 4, even though they're 5-0. The beating that I saw Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills throw the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead on Sunday, I have to take my hat off to them. I have to put them in at the top 3. I just have to. I think that Josh Allen is a man on a mission right now, and everything they did worked. And while they have played bums, they've stomped those bums. I need to see more from the Arizona Cardinals, and I think this is a week where they get tripped up. Now, Kyler is Kyler, but the Browns D, after a horrific loss in L.A., how do you score 42 points with a bazillion yards of offense and find a way to lose that game? Now, I believe they got jobbed, and you guys are lucky out there that there's no roaster ref this week, because I could spend the whole hour talking about some of the egregious calls that took place in the National Football League this week. But I digress. I think they come home and I think they get right here. Now, Chandler Jones does have COVID, but J.J. Watt's still there. This is a decent defense. They're obviously going all in. They get Zach Ertz is on the way now, so they're proving to their fans that they're going for it. But no team is going to go undefeated, and I think this is a spot where they get picked. Now, Kareem Hunt kind of banged up. Nick Chubb kind of banged up. Odell's doing absolutely nothing, but Baker's still Baker. They're at home. The dog pound will be fired up. I think they find a way to win this game. I think they're going to slow Kyler Murray down. Kyler is hurt. Kyler's hurt. I woke up from that same nap last week to see that Kyler Murray had like 100 yards passing at like the third quarter. So something's going on there with him. It kind of came out this week. So watch Kyler this week. But I think that dog pound, Kyler Murray, meet Myles Garrett. That's really what the bottom line is going to be. I think they're going to run the ball all over the Cardinals, and I think they hit 5-1. Take the Browns. Take them big. Don't be scared to make these picks, guys. I'm hotter than you think right now. Let's roll. Brownies all day. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. The Raiders. Raiders at the Broncos. Spencer, I'm here to tell you your Raiders are in trouble.
They stink. You don't have to tell me nothing.
You're in trouble. They're in trouble. I said it a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to stick with it. Real Raider fans were always waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's just the truth, because the Raiders are going to Raider. This is what they do. They beat really, really great teams, and then they play down to the level of their competition and lose to really, really bad teams. You lose to the Chicago Bears in your building, and then at the end of the game, or most of the game, actually, I was looking in those stands, that looked like a Chicago home game. Shame on you guys. I know the tickets are $1 million, but shame on you. That's a game you have to win. Derek Carr, that's a game you have to win. Don't blame it on Gruden. That information hadn't come out yet. You're supposed to smash that team. That team is not good. So here we go. Now you're at the Broncos. Mile High Stadium. Broncos are banged up, but they're home. I think that they win this game. I think they win this game handily. Anytime there's a black cloud circling over your franchise, the Urban Meyer thing, the Jon Gruden thing, it's kind of hard to go out there and concentrate on football. You've lost your leader. Now you're on the road versus a team that likes to run the ball. You guys have been pretty good against the run, but I just think that the Broncos are better than a lot of people think they are. You need to thank your lucky stars that Jerry Jeudy's on IR. Cortland Sutton's emerging. Noah Fant's good. One of these days, they're going to realize how good Javonte Williams is, and they're going to unleash him and broom Melvin Gordon. I think that Bronco D is better than most people think they are. I think they're a top 5 unit. I think you guys are in trouble Sunday. It is an AFC West matchup, so the Raiders go out and win these kind of games when no one thinks they will, but I'm not taking them here. I just think that distractions will be too much. Take the Broncos all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. Next. This is a game that America's team is almost, I think, overconfident about winning. They're going to go into Foxborough and they feel like they're going to get a win. Why? Because they're hot right now. Has there been a hotter team right now than the Dallas Cowboys? Nobody really wants to give them their flowers. People think the Trevon Diggs thing is kind of overrated. Micah Parsons, okay, he's having a good year so far. They're a legitimate team. Folks, the Dallas Cowboys could go to the Super Bowl. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's true. They're winning despite Mike McCarthy. Now, Patriots, boy, they had to battle hard last week to beat the Houston Texans, but they did. They got it done, and I told everybody, Bill Belichick is not losing to a terrible team like the Texans after losing to Tom Brady the week before. They pulled it out. They did what they had to do. Now they're home. They'll be, in the comfy confines of Foxborough, and here come the Dallas Cowboys. Bill's going to be ready. He's going to do everything he can to take Dak out of this game. Now, there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, but I have a funny feeling that Mac Jones is going to play well on Sunday, and I think the Cowboys are going to lose here. I just don't know why. That running game's a mess. Damian Harris is hurt. They're always putting the ball on the ground. Deep sleeper here. Ramondre Stevenson may do some work. Keep your eyes out for him. Pick him up in fantasy before everybody else does, guys. I think that if this guy gets a chance, he might do something. He was looking really good in preseason. I think Dallas is due for a dud. The Patriot defense is good. I see Nick Folk kicking a game-winning field goal this time and actually making it 21-17 Patriots. Don't be scared. Scared money doesn't make money, folks. Let's roll. Seahawks at the Steelers, Monday Night Football. Boy, the Seahawks are a mess. There's certain players in the National Football League that if you lose that player, your team is done. If the Chiefs lose Mahomes, it's over. And you're seeing that happen with Seattle. Seattle's lost Russ now. Geno Smith is not good. You have to travel across the country. Chris Carson is always hurt. You want an absolute lock of the century, go to the sports book every August and just bet that Chris Carson will be injured. Take out a second mortgage, then take out a third mortgage, pawn all your mom's jewelry, and make that bet because the guy is always hurt. Seahawk running backs are always hurt. And in order to win this game, they're going to need to run the ball. I don't believe in Alex Collins anywhere. I don't believe in DJ Dallas. Steelers are better than people think they are. They won a tough game last week at home. Steelers defense is waking up. Watch them roll here. Ben is still a statue. They're still really not good, but Najee Harris will be the difference maker here. They're starting to get this kid involved. Remember, all this guy does is score touchdowns. They're feeding him the ball like Le'Veon Bell 2.0, and it's going to show under the lights. Sunday Night Football, take the Steelers. The Steelers this week are my best bet. Seattle is an absolute wounded animal, and they are begging for somebody to put them out of their misery.
How did this get to be the Sunday night game, by the way? What a dumpster fire.
Well, at the time, Russ was playing. You know what I mean? I mean, Russ is the poster. I mean, Russ is like Mahomes. These are like the good guys. They're like the Carltons of football. They don't get in trouble. They don't get arrested. They got foundations. They got wives. They're not out there cheating on their wives. You know what I mean? Like the NFL, they really want to try to keep that solid image. So when they throw these games up, they try to have the good guys on. You ever notice that?
Couldn't have the State Farm boy, Baker Mayfield and the Cardinals as the Sunday night game, or at least flexed it.
They should have flexed it because I think it's the better game. I think the really better game would have been my boyfriend Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. That would have been truly the Sunday night game of the week. But I don't think this is a bad one, and I think it should be entertaining for a little while. But eventually, I think the Steelers are going to blow the doors off Seattle. Take that money and run. Monday night, Bills at the Titans. We're talking about the Bills before, and, you know, Bills Mafia, here it is. I told you last week that I needed to see something, and you showed it to me. Jordan Kusi, if you're watching, there it is. You know, I mean, what else is there to say? When I'm wrong, I come on and I say I'm wrong, and if my team gets blown out, hey, I eat humble pie a lot on this show, but I'm not scared to make predictions, and sometimes they come true and sometimes they don't. And Josh Allen is looking like the Terminator right now. Did you see that one? He hurdled L'Jarius Sneed. I went upstairs and cried. I was like, this game is beyond over. I mean, the game was over already, but I mean, it's like when you see stuff like that, that's swag. There's winning, and then there's winning with swag. And Bills Mafia, they got it going on right now. I like them big on Monday. Why? Because the Titans' defense is a tire fire. They've got Derrick Henry. They've got A.J. Brown. They got Julio. These guys should all finally play, but they cannot stop anyone. Spencer, you and I could line up in the Grab It parking lot, and we would get positive yards versus these guys. And so Stephon Diggs hasn't really been Stephon Diggs. I think you're going to see him blow up on Monday night. Josh is going to do what he does. I told you guys about Dawson Knox, and sure enough, what happened? He ate all day versus Daniel Sorensen. It was Thanksgiving versus the Chiefs. Boy, I just love when I see these things coming and they come to fruition, albeit not my team, but I love this matchup for the Bills, and I think they cruise here. Derrick Henry will have to rush for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns yet again for them to win this game, and I just don't see it happening. While I want to say, touchdown, Titans! Touchdown, Titans! I just don't see it happening. Take Sean McDermott, take Josh Allen, take the Bills all day, 3 times on Monday for the win. All right. That's it. Short show this week, but before we close it up, got to go over my picks. Taking the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys better not let me down this week, or I'm throwing chairs. I might have to fly to Kansas City if you guys lose to Washington football team. The Dolphins, the Bengals, the Panthers, the Colts, the Rams, my boyfriend Justin Herbert and the Chargers, the Pack, the Brownies, the Broncos over the Raiders, the Pats, the Steelers are my best bet, and nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. Folks, always remember that World of Matchups is everywhere. We're all over social media, so please check them out at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and like and subscribe on our YouTube page. Please go to grabit.com as well. Check out our other content there. We got all types of great sports and other things going on there. And remember, the newest one is our TikTok page, where I drop quick hitters and content all day, every day. Show us some love out there. We appreciate the support, folks. We thank you for tuning in as always. My name is Dexter Reed, on behalf of Grab It Television, Spencer the Wiz. We are World of Matchups, and remember, you are watching the most comprehensive and uncensored National Football League television show to hit the airwaves this year. We'll see you next week, folks. Enjoy the games. Thank you for the support. I'm out.